17.9 million people left their jobs in Q1 of this year. And while I think we all wish that that was just a trend, we're seeing that it's still increasing. So unfortunately, we can't get those people back, right? So what we need to focus on is how can we retain these employees? And so I think there's 3 ways that we can really focus in on retaining the talent. And the first one's probably the easiest, and that's just create conversation. So at this point, you're probably creating a plan to get back into the office if you haven't already. Maybe you're working with your employees to create a hybrid schedule, and now is the perfect time to just put time on the calendar and really start talking to people. Now, I think a lot of the times we think that no news is good news, but you can't fix a problem or you can't fix a concern unless you know what the problem is. And so you can ask people, say, hey, as we've been working remotely this last year, have you been feeling fulfilled? Is there anything that's stressing you out about your current position? Is there anything you're worried about regarding the future of the company? And when you ask those questions, you're gonna get some answers. Now, sometimes they might not be pretty, but again, you can work on those and you can keep your employees engaged if you're having that conversation. So the second thing that I want you guys to really consider is career mapping. I don't care who you are, nobody likes to be stagnant. Everybody likes to work towards something. Now that's if you're a controller of a Fortune 500 company, and if you're a collections specialist at a small mom and pop shop. So you want to create a plan, and I really think putting a plan on paper for your employees to work towards. Now that could be a lot of different things, right? It could be a path to move into management, but that's not available for everybody. It could also be a path to increase your title. Maybe it's a path to a small increase in salary. But when people feel like they're working towards something and they see that documented, they have a lot of trust with their employer and they're excited to move forward. The third thing that I want to talk about is incentive-based compensation. Now, I'm not telling you, you need to give everyone a 20% raise, but there's small things that you can do that make people think that they're valued. Right? It's one thing to have a conversation, it's another thing when the rubber meets the road. So some examples of this, a great one is sales, right? Maybe your sales representative is supposed to bring in, 50 contracts a year or 12 contracts a month. Maybe if he hits certain targets weekly or monthly, you give him $100 bonuses, $200 bonuses, something that's tangible that they'll actively work on every week. Or maybe you're in the financial industry and you want your employees to get their Series 7 or Series 66. Putting a plan in place saying, hey, when you get your licensure, you're gonna be benefited with a $1,000 bonus. Or if you pass 3 tests for the CPA exam, you're gonna get a $500 gift card to your favorite restaurant. Having something tangible that's money related makes employees feel valued. And again, when you're having that constant compensation conversation or you're having those incentives kind of pour into your checks, you're much less likely to look elsewhere for opportunities. So if you're struggling and you're worried about losing people, have a conversation, talk about some career mapping, and put some incentive-based compensation where they only get paid if they performed, and I think it'll really help everyone out.